Hey, this week on This Is Gravel, Neil rides a bike. We talk Lunar Kanza, a little bit of Opal Wapoo, and night riding.
Night riding.
Hey, welcome to This Is Gravel. I am Bobby Thompson, and with me, as always,
Neil Taylor.
Neil, what's been going on? What's been happening?
Well, started to get out finally again and ride my bike some more. Getting out in the mornings and nights, though. I'll tell you what.
Post-DK riding, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
You know, getting out early in the morning, kind of when I wake up. We actually rolled out, last Friday, I think, with some high school kids here locally, and rode before it got too miserable. Actually, I think just beat the rain that day.
The humidity has set in.
Oh, my goodness.
Prior
yes.
to DK, we had tons of rain, but it was 70s and rain, 60s, and now we have summer.
Yeah,
so
it's been hot, riding at night too, and then just trying to enjoy my rides a little bit more, but at the same time also trying to maintain / get back some fitness. It feels like that maybe left me after a few weeks of not riding my bike. So
right,
but having a good time. So
good, and summer's here and ready to go. So
absolutely
cool.
All right, Bobby, what you been going on to, man? What you been doing?
Trying to keep the fitness up post DK because
Yeah.
I mean I have a summer of riding ahead of me. Well, I have a fall schedule too, and it's nothing like that you go into with a race podium finish mentality whatsoever. But you also don't want to have to suffer at the back end of all these events, and
Yeah.
so it's just keeping that fitness going. I have the Rift, which is in Iceland, that's coming up at the end of July. So, as a stepping stone, a jumping point towards that, I went to the Opal Wapoo gravel race up in Excelsior Springs, Missouri last weekend, and honestly had a blast. It's a well-organized event. The volunteers were out there at all the highway intersections to help you across. A couple of, it's always fun when you're riding along a rural road in the middle of nowhere and you come up a hill and right there is a house that happens to have water laid out for you,
Yes.
with a little bit of ice. And it was funny because we came up one house like mile, heck, I don't remember, 70, let's say 70 or 80. And he asked, how many of you are left? I look at this thing and there's still quite a bit of water and I'm like, probably about 3 hours worth of people behind me. So, and they're all going to be hurting a lot more than I am. So the humidity is definitely here in the Midwest. Completely drenched, soaked, wet diaper chamois from the first hill leaving town because of the humidity. And that was without the rain.
Yeah.
There was pop-up rain throughout the day. I got lucky and just had some sprinkles. But it's a hilly race, but it's worth going to, worth driving out for.
Cool. Yeah, I was planning on getting to it, but some things changed my plans this weekend. But it looks like a good time, hopefully on that 2020 schedule for sure. You mentioned that wet chamois diaper, gross feeling.
Yeah.
And it seems like every ride since DK, like before DK, we didn't have anything like that around here. And then every ride since then, I know I did a Thursday night group ride, and then me and Matt went out and did some bonus miles and got about 50. And by the time I got home, I was just gross disgusting. I was like, gosh.
I could actually, and some of these descents are white knuckle descents, and I just don't wear gloves anymore. Yeah. You could squeeze the bar tape and see sweat oozing out from the bar tape, and you're just like, you just can't get away from it. Yeah. And you have trash you're trying to put in your pocket, and it's just, I wanted to talk to a lot of people post race. I'd walk by them, they'd start a conversation, and I just apologized. I had to get out of the wet diaper. And, I didn't get back to as many people as I wanted to, but it was truly a great event and a lot of fun. But speaking of all that humidity, I mean, coming up in this time of the year, we all start trying to ride earlier or we start trying to ride later. Night riding is a lot of fun right now. If you've ever finished the DK from out of town and you have finished, post sunset, you know that the temperature drops, the wind drops, and it's nice and cool outside usually. Coming up to take advantage of that, we have a local ride coming up, Lunar Kanza.
Yeah.
Which I've ridden for many years. You have too, and it's definitely a lot of fun. It's more of a community, get out and enjoy the ride type event. It's
very relaxed
atmosphere, street party afterwards, bring the family to, that kind of a deal. Matt had a chance to sit down with LeLan Dains and got us some details on it.
Back in the studio today, we've got LeLan. LeLan, how you doing?
I am well. It's been a while.
It has been a while since you've been in the studio, but for everybody that doesn't know, LeLan started out the first 2 seasons of This Is Gravel here in the studio with Bobby about every other week.
That is correct.
Well, we're in here today to talk a little bit about the Lunar Kanza. I know Dirty Kanza is about 3 weeks in our past right now, and you guys don't slow down.
We don't, and I'm not even fully recovered from Dirty Kanza. There's still plenty of wrapping up and cleaning up that needs to occur, but simultaneously we are preparing ourselves for Lunar Kanza, which is in about 3 weeks from now.
Mm-hmm. Let's dive in. It's July 13th, I believe, that evening of the Lunar. Kind of give me a little background and maybe how the Lunar began.
Yeah, well, Lunar, the date chases, to the best of our ability, the closest Saturday to the full moon. And that's always been the intent of this ride, is to get people out at nighttime. Obviously, it's a nighttime ride. It is a ride, not a race. There is no timing, but it was just a way to celebrate cooler temperatures during the middle of the summer, because this is a real tough time to get out on gravel during the heat of the day. So the nighttime ride, but also on top of that, just the beauty and the contrast of the Flint Hills and the open range at nighttime versus during the day. And it really is a whole new experience and gives rider a new opportunity to experience the Flint Hills.
Absolutely. You go out sunset, and if you've never experienced the sunset in the Flint Hills, it's something to behold.
Precisely. Yeah, so we actually begin at 6 p.m. There is a police escort out of town, and so riders it'll be daylight when they take off. They'll get to experience that sunset middle of the course, hopefully at the top of the Cahola Dam climb, if you will, a viewing spot, and then they'll return back to Emporia under the cloak of darkness. So
very cool. You mentioned, this isn't a race, this isn't a challenge, but there are some challenge elements added in. I think you guys started doing a little bit like this last year.
Yeah. So we wanted to always keep our events interesting, and one of the things we wanted to do with Lunar was introduce some KOM and QOM challenges. And we're of the mindset of we love to go fast from time to time, and so there are 2 sections on course that folks can challenge themselves if they want to. Yeah. And there is some incentive to do so, because there is a Lauf fork to the male and female winner of each of the 2 segments. And a winner cannot win both segments. So even if someone did win both, they would only receive 1 Lauf fork, and the second place on the other would get the prize. So great chance to push yourself a little bit on some great segments on this course and win some great prizing.
One thing I find really cool about the Lunar Kanza is, this year it's 5-6 weeks after the Dirty Kanza event. And if you've obviously never been to Emporia, I know you've seen our highlights and clips about what Emporia does for Dirty Kanza. But maybe if you're from not in the region here, one thing you don't know is a lot of people start getting their bikes out of the garage that might just be truly casual cyclists and that type of thing. So it's really an all skill level event.
It truly is, yeah, and you're seeing that more even with Dirty Kanza, but even still, Lunar Kanza, I think people feel far less intimidated, and so therefore we see some very true beginners, people who did truly little to no prep work, and they just come out and join us, and that's fantastic because the full course is 50 miles, but being that it is not a race, riders can turn around at any point. In fact, Americus comes at mile 12. There is a fully stocked aid station there, and that provides a logical, good turnaround point if a person only wanted to do 24 miles. And it's very flat. In fact, it's pancake flat up to Americus and back. So it's about as beginner friendly as you can really make it leaving from Emporia. And so it's a great opportunity to showcase for our beginner riders what this gravel stuff is all about.
And this is more than just the ride, but a block party kind of festival in itself. What are some of the activities you guys have going on?
Yeah. Well, I want to mention first that we were talking about the KOM QOM challenge, and that's a great way to push yourself, go fast, and earn some prizes. But we also implemented a scavenger hunt last year, a treasure hunt, if you will. And so this requires no speed whatsoever, no skill perhaps other than a perceptive eye and a little bit of luck. But there will be tokens littered out throughout the course, and those tokens will be numbered. And folks will have a chance to, if they see a token, grab that token, bring it back, and redeem it for a prize. Now, these tokens vary. It could be a fluorescent spray-painted farm animal toy. It could be a backpack full of bricks. But the higher the risk, the higher the reward, obviously.
I remember last year maybe seeing some bright orange hula hoops out there. And I remember those were like in mile 5. So you see people all evening with this hula hoop around their shoulders, riding the rest of the 45 miles. But some pretty great rewards out there for that.
To give you an idea, of why it might be worth it to carry a hula hoop around your neck for 45 miles, we've got additional Lauf forks, very nice Brooks commuter bags, Maxxis tires, Camelback Chase vests, and new this year, entries into the Dirty Kanza 200. And I will state they're not free entries, but they do bypass the lottery and get you guaranteed secured entry into the 2020 event. And with the demand that there is around Dirty Kanza, that's a very valuable prize to be able to know in July that you're in for next year's Dirty Kanza.
That changes the whole training.
Gives you the ability to prepare yourself knowing that you're coming to the show.
Very, very cool. Yeah, it's always fun watching people bring in those. I think last year there might have been a single-speed bike involved with one of those challenges.
We were going to attempt that, but we didn't execute that. One of the thoughts was that you would hand your bike off to our wonderful volunteers at the halfway point and then pedal a single speed, pulling a trailer weighted down in order to get one of those prizes.
Was that at the bottom of Cahola Hill supposed to
be?
Oh,
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, you had to start up the hill on that.
Well, if you can't tell, Lunar Kanza is about getting out and having fun on the bike.
It is, yeah. And so, but you had asked about some of the other things going on. So in addition to the ride and what the riders get to experience, there is a free block party at the finish line. So just like at Dirty Kanza, there will be a finish festival, not quite the size and scope, but there will be Mulready's beer tent. There will be food trucks available, and there will be live music from Emporia's own, the Duane Brothers, which, if you haven't experienced, a very talented bluegrass town from this area. And so we're really excited to partner with Kansas Free for Arts to bring some free live music to the block party.
Very cool, LeLan. If people want to get registered, what do they need to do?
Yep, you're actually going to go to dirtykanza.com. That is our website, and there will be an events page. When you click on that, you'll see Lunar Kanza underneath of there. You can definitely go through that channel, or if you visit Facebook, we do have a Lunar Kanza Facebook page where you can get all this information and a link to register.
Yeah, and we'll put all those links in the show description down below. So, LeLan, thanks for joining us back in the studio today.
Thanks, Matt.
So the scavenger hunt got added last year.
Yeah.
And definitely a huge bonus to enhance the event. Truly kind of gets that enthusiasm for even the casual rider to go out and ride. So
at the beginning of last year's, me and Matt were riding at the front. We thought it'd be really cool, to be up at the front of the race, like, we were bosses or whatever. And we saw the first, I would say, scavenger hunt item on the side. It was a big hula hoop right on the side of the road. And I'm like, man, I don't really want to carry a hula hoop for 47 more miles. And Matt wasn't pulling off either. And all of a sudden, some guy from behind us just rides down into the ditch. Because, it was off, the road a little bit. Rides down into the ditch, right up to a pole that it's sitting on, and grabs it. I'm like, dude, kudos to you, but I have zero desire to carry that hula hoop for the next, 47 miles. It turned out it was a set of Maxxis tires.
Nice.
Awesome thing to get. But there's a lot of cool items out there with the scavenger hunt. So hope people come out and enjoy that.
Oh, I'm sure they will, definitely. Last weekend, we talked about our riding.
Oh, yeah.
There was definitely a lot of riding going on, and there's a lot of events still going on right now. Tour Divides out there, and GB Enduro races out there going on right now. If you haven't watched that, that's pretty cool. Lachlan, he's out there racing it right now. So we got a lot of pictures, and let's see what we got.
Hey, thank you so much to everybody that posted photos on our social media about where you've been riding. First up, we've got Ben Petty out at the Solstice 100. Said it was his first time riding Nebraska gravel, and it was a great event. Grant Klein was up at the Coast to Coast Coast Loop 100 in beautiful Northwest Michigan. Nicholas Brummer was up riding near Colorado Springs. Josh was at the Coast to Coast Gravel Grinder, said it equaled a long, wonderful day for 210 miles of dirt roads and sandy forest roads. Brett was out at the Oregon Trail Gravel Grinder 5-day gravel stage race, says it was absolutely incredible. Martin said he got in 60 miles, doubling Keebler Pass in Colorado. Matt Johnson was in on a mudfest in Sully, North Carolina. Matt Copeland said he had a killer time at the Solstice Gravel Grinder up in Nebraska. Jessica was up with friends for 39 miles of fixed gear gravel with these rad people in hot Texas. Sarah Knight was taking part in the Tour de Nebraska gravel routes in western Nebraska. Stuart Jansen was up at the Opal Wapoo 100. Thank you to everybody that submitted photos, and always follow along on our social media at Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate all the pictures. Again, fun seeing what everybody's doing because, there's some cool riding going out that's just not obviously in this area that, honestly, I'd love to get to. I mean, a lot of folks were up at Coast to Coast in Michigan. Keep saying I want to get up there.
Man, yeah.
And
Splitting the mitten.
definitely, yeah. It's so hard. It's like, man, of all the things we got, we got close options. Solstice last weekend up in Nebraska, Opal Wahoo up in Missouri, and then it's like go up to Michigan though too. And I got family right up there. I mean, my dad lives right off the course where it goes through, and it's like it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
Temperature wise too.
yeah, it wouldn't be quite as hot and humid as it is here, and you get to finish at a lake too. So if you're really hot after the race, just jump right in.
60 degrees water.
Let me tell you, I've been in Lake Michigan in June before,
Yeah.
and it is a wonderful thing. I could imagine after a hot race for 200 miles. So,
Sweet.
well, hey guys, thanks again for the pictures. I look forward to seeing more, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.
Bye.